How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to TSUKIHIME, where I think we are coming across our final showdown here in this route. I could be wrong. This could be like a precursor of some sort, but Arcueid knows where Roa is because she was listening in on Shiki talking with Shield, and yeah, I mean, he also was very upfront about his feelings, but also was very open about where the hell Roa was. Well, both him and Shield were. So, Arcueid knows where to go, and Shiki is very much, like, disabled at this point in time. Like, he cannot move all that well. So he's getting carried by Shield to the school, but Arcueid is obviously going to be here first. After bursting through the night-covered city, we arrive at the school, and despite having leaped from roof to roof with me in her arms, much like Arcueid has done before, Shield doesn't seem out of breath in the slightest. Damn these superhuman people. This is probably coming a little late, but she might be just as ridiculously overpowered as Arcueid.
Tohno-kun, 歩けますか?
Probably not.
歩けなくても歩きます。これからロアを殺しに行くんですから。
そうですね。では、この先は自分の足でお願いします。
Well, yeah, that's typically how walking goes. She lowers me to the ground. The school is wrapped in an eerie silence. Once I enter these grounds, neither Roa or I are walking out until one of us is dead. I take a deep breath and remove my glasses. That's a little different. A familiar pain courses through my brain. The sensation combined with my rigid body makes me want to scream out.
まずいですね。目覚めたばかりとはいえ、やはり月齢の影響を受けますか?
Shield looks up at the sky with a grim look on her face. Does the moon have, like, some sort of an effect on us as well? The moon illuminates the school in its silver blue glow.
まずいって何がです？
ロアの状態です。神祖は月齢によってその能力限度を上下させます。彼らは満月に近いほど力を増す。それは使徒であるロア本人も同じです。
Oh, lovely.
今夜のロアは限りなく不死身に近いでしょう。今の私の装備では殺しきれないかもしれません。
As close to immortal as can be, huh? Not like that makes a difference to me. As long as a potential death still exists, I can kill it. No matter how hard he makes it for me. I just need to get close enough. Even if he guts me the next second, it won't matter if I can deliver his death in a single breath.
それにしても今夜は明るいですね。これじゃあ、闇に紛れて忍び込むのも難しいです。月の明るい夜は好きなんですけど、今日だけは別物ですね。
She sighs. Moonlight pierces the frozen blue night, a testimony to the death of existence that one might even find beauty in.
そうかな。俺は月の明るい夜は嫌いです。
Tohno-kun.
There's an intense throb. Something grates within my brain.
太陽じゃなくて月の弱い明かりだと余計にはっきり見えるから。線をかき消すくらい強い日差しが本当の暗闇の方が気が楽だ。
I see. Another throb. It scratches at the fringes of my reality.
ああ、今夜は特に狂いそうだ。何もかも死にやすそうで、まるで月の荒野にいるみたい。
But it's not necessarily bad news. It means that no matter what, I won't miss Roa's death. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, the line's appearing a lot bluer than normal. I guess that just means that we can see them even more so.
ここから先は一人で行ってください。私は別行動をしますから。
別行動？先輩、何かするんですか？
ですね。私だってロアを処理するのが目的なんですよ。ただ、 今代のロアは今までより強力なようですから、トーノ君とアルクエイドがロアに殺された後、その隙をついてロアを処断します。
Shield declares her strategy without a hint of shame. To be honest, her sincerity inspires more confidence than half-truths ever could.
わかりました。勝手ですけど、その時は後始末をよろしくお願いします。
はい。仕事に私情を挟むのはここまでです。トーノ君は彼女のために戦うのでしょう。それと同じように、私にも自分なりの理由があるんです。ですから、これ以上あなたたちを助けることはできません。
はい。ありがとうございます、先輩。これでお別れかもしれないから言っておきますね。俺、先輩のことを好きでしたよ。先輩と有彦と3人でバカみたいな話をしてるのは楽しかった。
Even if, whatever facade that she was putting on, if it was all for naught, if it was just for, being undercover or whatever her situation is, still a cool character. And, I kind of missed her throughout all the crazy vampire bullshit.
はい。私も夢みたいでした。
And just like that, Shield disappears like a bird fading into the night. Again, these characters and their superhuman shit, it is just crazy. I've also made up my mind. I pass through the main gate. It's still hard to walk. The school feels like it's miles away. Though my body grows dizzier with every step, I whip myself into action, forcing my body to sprint towards the building. Oh boy, here we go. I guess you guys can now place a bet as to how many times I'm going to die here. I'm sure there's got to be, a lot of opportunities to die here. Ahead of Shiki Tohno, the executor has already entered the school. And this is not an assault, but an infiltration. Naturally, this is far from her first time navigating enemy territory. For the executor shield, goddamn, I can't speak or read. Exterminating vampires is a matter of duty, not of pride. To challenge an enemy directly is to invite suspicion of madness. Her body moves like a shadow. Her stealth surpasses mere silence, as if there's no trace of her at all to the outside world. No scent, no body heat, not even a heartbeat, nothing. As of now, she won't even permit herself to think. There are vampires capable of noticing intruders the second a thought crosses their mind. It's uncertain whether Michael Roa Valdemjong has cultivated such an ability. Actually, I think it's Valdemjong. But the true ancestor no doubt possesses at least this level of spatial domination. Dominion, sorry, not domination. And if Arcueid discovers that Shield has entered this space, that information will be relayed to Roa, engaged in battle with her. In other words, the slightest thought would ruin her chance at an ambush. So in order to avoid such an outcome, Shield has transformed herself into a puppet. A puppet only performs the commands it has been given. It does not think. It is unmoved by outside factors. Unthinkingly, the executor moves toward a location in Roa's blind spot where she might deliver certain death. She has apprised herself of her surroundings through magecraft. Roa has deployed a myriad of magical formulae throughout the gymnasium where he now waits. Arcueid is moving to meet him through the corridor which connects the gym with the main building. The concrete surface is growing more scorched by the second. It is Roa's ode, accumulated until this very moment, contending with Arcueid's own magical energy. If Shield were conscious, she might liken it to a powder keg, a concentration of magical energy so dense it sparks, ready to blow at the slightest provocation, eradicating intruders and all. Will Shiki Tohno be able to pass through here? Such thoughts do not cross her mind. Does Shiki Tohno even know where the fuck he's going? The killing machine simply heads from the courtyard to the roof. Even Roa himself could not wake her up now. But then... Oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? She sees it. Like a fatal omen, something makes her question her own eyes. Oh, you know what? It's kind of like that spidery thing that we came across, just way more intense looking. It clings to the wall unnaturally. Not even Shield, with her vast history of vanquishing dead apostles and monsters alike, has heard of such an aberration, let alone seen it. Yeah, it is definitely more spider-like. Its skin is tough yet supple, like leather or tree bark. Its abdomen is grossly distended. 6 legs sprout from its gut. A mass of claws or fangs grow from its shoulder, large enough to belong to a dinosaur. Its lower body resembles that of a spider. Its upper body is almost human. The 8 eyes that dot its face are unmistakably arachnid, Yet strangest of all, a muddled awareness oozes from the aberration, one that is neither murderous nor hostile. She has faced bloodlust potent enough to foretell her doom. She has faced hostility electric enough to cover her entire flesh in goosebumps. But that is not what she senses now. This creature defies analysis. It exists in none of the church's records. Of that much, she is certain. This being's origins lie outside the realm of man's understanding. Something about it brings to mind a painting by a renowned artist of a dark, strikingly blue city beneath a swirling moon and stars. I know what you're talking about. We're talking about some Van Gogh shit here, right? It almost seems to inhabit a separate dimension. Without realizing, Shield begins to breathe again. All thoughts of Roa, Shiki, or Arcueid are erased from her empty mind. What remains is primal fear, a trace of humanity from a time before she was an executor. When she was just a little girl, ignorant of monsters and creatures of the night. In other words, she is filled with an undeniable aversion to the hideous thing before her. The entire school distorts and shakes. The amassed magical energy in the air is causing a chain reaction, warping the steel foundation of the school building. It wasn't caused by this aberration. It's a sign that the fight between Roa and Arcueid has begun. It was only a few seconds, but it was a fatal error nonetheless. Realizing that she has lost her chance to ambush Roa, Shield immediately redirects her attention to the threat at hand. Oh boy. The monster, neither insect nor beast, is nearly 3 meters tall, yet it glides across the walls with ease. It is entirely unaffected by the shaking of the building. From 8 meters away, the monster brandishes its grotesque arms. Yeah, grotesque they are. They extend like whips. They close in on her, but Shield calms as she catches the familiar scent of dead apostle from each of them. Roa must have placed it here to prevent her from interfering. Viewed in such a light, nothing about this is shocking. Shield observes the physiological makeup of the ghoul from below. Its entire form is a mass of lethal weaponry, but there are 2 points which demand attention. The cluster of fangs protruding from its shoulder and that massive left arm. Those fangs are not made for close combat. No, without a doubt. They're quite the opposite. Yeah, they're a little bit on the range side. They are missiles made to hunt prey from afar. A direct hit from a high-velocity mass like that would splinter a human into 1,000 pieces. And if it maintains the high ground, she'll be a sitting duck. In one breath, she slips past the wave of whistling projectiles leaping up to the rooftop. The massive ghoul clambers onto the rooftop to cut off the executor's escape. Its 6 legs allow it to glide across the ground just as easily as it scaled the wall. Shield views its every move, formulating her plan of attack. What a crazy looking thing this is. The giant ghoul is akin to mobile artillery. Its primary armaments comprise those elastic arms and the rows of fangs on its shoulder, which have already regrown. A variable form specialized in long-distance warfare. But that isn't to say it's ill-equipped for close combat. Were she to get too close, its left arm would almost certainly smash through her defenses.
もっとも
That is, if it manages to hit her. Objectively, that ghoul's massive left arm is at odds with the rest of its body. The mismatched proportions ruin its balance, undoubtedly marring the creature's maneuverability. Had its arms been closer in shape and size, it could have acted as a more stable mobile turret, or even pressured shield from a distance. It assails her once more with its whip-like arms. Evading by the skin of her teeth, the Executor weaves her way toward the enemy. She is no longer plagued by the fear that tingled at her spine. Though her foe remains an unknown entity, she has ascertained its strength and abilities. Even if it is a type of ghoul never seen or never before encountered, well, it should pose no threat to her. The abilities it exhibits are not enough to kill her. Cheel is fully convinced that she can cope with it, or with her current equipment. If there's one issue here, well, it's...
時間
Though she does not know the enemy, she knows that its power is on par with that of a greater dead apostle, which means that executing it once or twice will not be enough. The question is how much she must kill it before it stops regenerating.
10分それ以上は使えない
The Executor's magecraft burns the ghoul. Although struck by enough lightning to kill an elephant, the ghoul leaps backward and launches its counter-assault. The Executor grits her teeth. This monster is far more resilient than she anticipated. Some time remains until she will fell her foe. She has no way of knowing how that slight interval will affect the night's conclusion. That is rough. Yeah, that's going to hold her up for a while. Alright, we going to the Roa fight now? We are. The school is a mess. Everywhere I look, steel and concrete have been gouged. It's like a miniature typhoon passed through before ascending upward. As fast as Shield was in traversing the city, she couldn't keep up with Arcueid. The battle between Arcueid and Roa must already be underway. I run through the corridors. Alien sounds of destruction ring through the building. A burning smell lingers in the air. My fingernails dig into my left palm, pulling back my consciousness, which slips further away with each step, or with every step, and the painful sting keeps me grounded enough to press forward. It doesn't matter if my nails flay in my left hand. As long as my right hand can still wield a knife, I'll be okay. I pass through the hallway and run up the stairs. The sound is close now. I'm almost certain it's coming from the 3rd floor. Just a little further. If I can catch up with her, we'll stand a chance. She knows what my eyes can do. She's the type to stay calm and rational during a fight. And once she knows I'm here, she'll know how to put me to good use. She can handle the defense while I go on the attack, just like when we fought Vlad. She just needs to hold off Roa, and I'll do the rest. No matter what happens or how reckless the plan is, I'll cut a way through, but hold on there, bucko. We need to consider the fact that you are heavily injured here and can barely move without, falling over. So, I don't think we can just say that this is going to be a fight like with Vlad. She just needs to hold on. I arrive on the 3rd floor. The deep gashes in the wall stretch down the hallway, all the way to the passage that connects the school buildings. Forcing my stumbling feet to pick up the pace, I make a dash for the corridor. Oh, it's looking a little cleaner up here. I reach the part where the hallway turns into the connecting passage. Finally, I made it to the final battleground. There they are, in the corridor's center. 2 figures keeping a careful distance. Yep, there he is. At the far end, I spy Roa, smug and in his element. Closer to me in the corridor's center, I see Arcueid kneeling on the floor, her breath in disarray. What is this? That's not the Arcueid I know. Her body appears woven with dark threads. She's weak, on the verge of falling apart. Not a shadow remains of the beautiful moonlit flower I saw in the hotel.
Arcueid!
I run for her, not even taking a second to concern myself with Roa. This hallway might be laced with traps, but all that matters is that I get to her as fast as possible. However, before I can reach her... Oh. Ah, shit, she's going to fuck with us, isn't she? A spark cracks through the air. Still kneeling, Arcueid assaults me with a terrible glare. I can't move. It's like my entire body turned to stone the instant I met her gaze.
冷たい女だ。死ぬ思いで駆けつけた仲間を魔眼で束縛するとは。共に死にたいという彼の忠義ぐらい受けてやってもいいだろう。
Roa sounds delighted by the circumstances. Well, yeah, one of his targets is now frozen in place. His mockery isn't intended for me, but for Arcueid, who's still on the ground.
魔眼。
Why would Arcueid use those against me? Why, damn it? Why now after I finally caught up to her?
どけ。どいてくれ、アルクエイド。
Arcueid refuses to meet my eyes, instead turning back to Roa. She doesn't speak. She has nothing to say to me. Her pained gaze is reserved only for her greatest enemy.
なんで。なん。
I can't even raise my voice. Her mystic eyes aren't to blame for that part. Despite coming so far, this frustration at my own helplessness is extinguishing the fire that somehow kept my body moving.
いいぞ、ようやく覚悟を決めたな、姫君。まったくもって静寂だ。何しろもう後がない。ここで私を仕留めなければ、無残な死体は2つになるからな。それが嫌な。最後の誇りを見せるがいい。
Roa approaches Arcueid slowly, one unbothered step at a time. His shoulders, his abdomen, and his limbs are warped and torn with every step he takes. Interesting, but never for more than a moment. His body recovers almost instantly, and not once does the damage break his stride.
しかし、大したものだ少年。姫君はお前を逃がすために私と差し違えることにしたらしい。だが、かつての姫君なら恐ろしくもあったが、今の君はただの吸血鬼だ。神祖としての力も十全に発揮できない。悲しいな。胸を裂くように悲しい。そして醜い。そこまでの無様を晒すのなら、いっそ欲望のままに落ちていればよかったもの。
黙れ!
Arcueid's voice rings through the corridor.
一時的な物理現象の書き換え、自然現象、空間にある熱量の自由操作、神祖が持つ星の触覚としての当然の権利。まさに創造の権能だ。いかな魔術を極めようと、人間ではお前たちには遠く及ばない。しかし、同時にお前たちも人間には直接干渉することはできない。繁栄し、学習し、独立し、知恵ある猿として進化した人間は、もうこの星とは違う分類だから。できることといえば、こうして真空を作り上げ、だがこれでは足りない。加えて、今の私はお前より優れている。私にあって、お前にはないものがあるか。
Arcueid has stopped breathing. peril cloaks her very being, like she's abandoning all of herself in the bid to gather strength.
わかるだろう。そう、死の実体験だ。私はそれを知っているが、お前は知らない。それが私たちの決定的な差だ。生きている限り生物は死を体験し得ない。それを知りうるのは転生者たるこの私だけの特権だ。
The darkness writhing around Arcueid grows more pronounced. I have to stop her. Even if it means grabbing her and slapping her cheek, I have to stop her. If I don't, then...
人は未知を本能的に恐れる生物だ。それは超越者である神祖であろうと変わらない。しかし、いかに神秘を学ぼうと、どれほど長寿の生物がいようと、無に帰る罪。本質的な死を体験することはできない。お前たちは死を拒むことでその強大な力を得るが、同時に弱さをも作り上げた。死を避ける貴様と死を受け入れた私。それがアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットとミハイル・ロア・バルダムヨンの質の違いだ。
Okay, yeah, he's definitely not pronouncing the J in his name.
私は今も
He's fancy like that.
人の時代に生きている。時代から外れた亡霊に過ぎぬお前に私を罰する権利はない。
A crisp sound cuts through the hallway. The corridor's windows are being coded, overwritten by something else. Can Roa not see it? This enormous swell of power that not even death can penetrate?
それでも私に挑むというのなら止めはしない。身をもって千年の代償を受けるがいい。その後、そうだな。やはりこの体の目的をゆっくり果たすとしよう。
His mouth twists into a smile, a crescent moon of malice. Roa finally turns his gaze towards me. Those eyes foretell the delight that he'll take in killing me, in sating the grudge of his flesh, of Shiki.
つまらない。交渉はそれで終わりか、ゲロ。
Ooh. She is ready to fight for realsies this time. Oh, by the way, like, people in the comments were kind of talking about Shiki's name, or Roa's old name of Shiki. I guess the kanji is different, which I kind of guessed. And also the way that it was, like, referred to in the OG, I think it was, like, capitalization was used instead of italicization. I think I threw another syllable in there, but yeah, I think the way that it has to be distinguished in English, I mean, you gotta be a little bit more on the creative side, but, you know, we get it, right? Well, we understand. Arcueid's surroundings are transfigured, as though she were recalling the planet's way of being, its atomic structure etched deeply into its atmospheric memory.
確かに、私は堕落した。
But that doesn't matter. It isn't worthy of regret. She draws in a breath as though she were speaking to devour it.
消えろ。お前に私の指揮は殺させない。
Ooh. I dig it. The world shifts. It takes on an appearance I've ever seen before or never seen before. Come on, game. Even outside of her universe, my body is constricted by an intense, unseeable pressure. I can't even begin to imagine how horrifying it must be for Roa, locked in its confines. The GameCube?
魔術基盤がエーテルが待て、これでは魔術が成立しない。魔力枯渇どころではない。秩序そのものが未完成だ。これではまず
Arcueid solemnly raises her hand. My throat refuses to cooperate. Every part of me wants to scream that this is wrong. Well, sure, this will kill Roa, but at the same time, it'll all be over. She'll lose what little still remains inside of her. I know this too well, but I can't produce a single sound.
そうか。これが天体をなすもの。私のパンティオン。私を堕落させた現象の一。おお。祝福あれ。祝福あれ。祝福あれ。間違ってはいなかった。私の理論は間違ってはいなかったのだ。
The vampire, trapped within a pit of suffering, cries out in joy. And with disgust emanating from her every movement, the woman in white expunges him like she were swatting a fly. There's no way that was the fight. There's no way. When I open my eyes, Roa is no more. He was distorted, severed, and finally compressed. The corridor has returned to its former reality. It seems its phantasmal state was only momentary. The passage is the same as it ever was. Only Roa's feet remain. Well, you gotta get rid of those too. And yet, the battle can never end so easily. I was gonna say.
人知未だ及ばぬ空を追う天外よ。
The feet move. A wet sound echoes through the corridor as they wade across the sea of blood. There's no way that the battle could have ended that easily, huh, gamers? Come on now. And then a revolting process unfolds. He's back. With every step, Roa is rebuilt. Ankle, thigh, back. His other leg sprouts forth, followed by his torso and then his arms. Hey, I mean, this is pretty cool. Some wild shit, but you know what? I'm with it.
その見業に負けてはいない。この術者が滅びようと発動する自動映射は近年において完成の域を。
My voice fails to reach her. Still kneeling on the floor, Arcueid can't even lift her head anymore.
無意味だ。初めから無意味だ。あなたのため800年前から無意味だ。なぜ私にとって肉体の死など通過儀礼に過ぎず、仮にこの場でこの肉体が死滅しよう。ロアはまた人の世に帰ってくる。
Okay, but how do we cut that off? That was never really discussed before, or if it's even possible.
あの闇よ。危ない危ない。やはり今夜を選んでおいて正解だったな。満月でなければ足首からの蘇生などできはしない。そして姫君、お前はこの傷からは蘇生はできない。私の爪はそこにいる男と同じ能力だからな。
I can't move. I call out to her, but I'm too late. Roa, whole once more, slices through her stomach. Get the packaging tape. It's effortless, like cutting a line. There's no tearing of flesh, no spilling of blood. I mean, eventually there will be. She falls and remains completely motionless on the cold floor.
これが死を体験した末に得た力だ。皮肉な話だが、私自身もこれの使い道はわからなかった。サンプルとして享受してくれたのは彼でね。何？コツさえつかめばどうということはない。幾度死を見てきた私にとって、 物の詩を読むことはそう難しくはないことだ。
Arrogantly boasting of his achievements, Roa kicks Arcueid to the side. The air crackles on impact, and she's sent flying my way.
アルクエイド。
I can move. The effect of her mystic eyes must have worn off, meaning Arcueid's power is now completely spent. Shaking away the thought, I pull her into my arms. The instant I do, I'm met with a horrid revelation. Her body is unbelievably cold. What little heat remains feels like the flickering of a dying candle. I put my glasses back on out of an instinctive fear. Roa is still here, right in front of us. But I don't care. All that matters to me now is saving Arcueid.
アルクエイド。
I call for her. She opens her eyes slowly, as if stirred from a deep slumber.
かっこ悪いとこ見せちゃった。
I mean, you didn't until, this happened. She smiles at me. It's a faint smile with a brightness that feels stitched together.
何バカなこと言ってるんだ。お前どうしてこんな。
My voice can barely make a sound. I wish I had the right words. I wish I knew what to say. But something's wrong with me. I can't even think right now. Arcueid's body is frigid in my arms, horrifyingly so. If I weren't wearing my glasses, I'd undoubtedly be witnessing something even more horrifying. And I really, really don't want to see that.
どうして。
All my mouth can form is repetitive nonsense. My frustration at myself reaches a peak, and I pull Arcueid close, more tightly than ever before. But that won't put strength back into her veins. Not a sliver of energy remains within her. The only thing left is a contented smile on her face.
嘘だ。
This can't be happening.
どうしてこんな。どうして一人でこんなことするんだよ。俺たちは仲間だろ。協力するって、最後まで助けてやるって。
そっか。そういえばそうだったね。
Quite a few times, actually, I'm pretty sure.
なんか忘れちゃった。
Again, like I said, quite a few times.
忘れるなよ、そんなこと。これじゃ俺は最低じゃないか。お前を助けるって言ったのに。ちゃんと助けるって言ったのに。
そんなことないよ、シキ。私あなたにいっぱい助けてもらったもの。だから助けてもらうのはもういいんだ。
She coughs weakly. Blood drips from the corner of her pained smile.
だからお礼にこれぐらいはしなくちゃって。ちょっと無理しちゃったけど。
And I think we're losing her here, guys.
最後にロアからシキを守れてよかった。
My breath catches. Arcueid can no longer see. She doesn't know about her wounds or even that Roa is still alive. Her time stopped before that. From the moment she struck that final blow, that was the end for her. Stop. Please stop. I can't say a word. My throat is stuck and refuses to move. But I can't bear to rouse her from her dream.
ありがとう。助かっ
I'm losing my mind. I can barely force the lie out of my throat. The color is fading from her eyes. Her body temperature is just fading to nothing. I'm losing her. I'm going to lose her forever.
アルクエイド。
に
俺の血を飲め。そうすれば力が戻るんだろう。
Without a second thought, I shout my wish aloud. I think it should be done. Fuck being a human. Arcueid doesn't reply. She just shakes her head faintly. So faintly, I almost miss it.
なんで
It's not who she is, man.
まだ怖いとか言ってるのか。いいからよく聞けよ。前に言ってたよな。もしも鳥や魚に自分と同じぐらいの知性があったら食べられるかって。俺は食うぞ。食わなきゃ生きていけないからな。
Shit, I know people would eat each other if, you know, that's what it took to fucking live. Morals and ethics really do go out the door once you're in a state of, like, trying to, you know, live.
生きるために奪うことは自然界じゃ当たり前のことなんだろう。
And that's what you told me. So why? Why are you shaking your head with such pity in your eyes?
私もしもの話って
You're the one that brought up the fucking hypothetical. She flatly refuses me. And the words she used were my own. Ah, fuck. Damn it. You told me you liked what ifs. You said you felt like that there was salvation to be found in them.
そうか。俺は好きだぞ。たとえ詭弁っぽくてもさ。それなりにどこか救いがあるような気が。
A salvation you can find in them, I want to say. But I can't. My throat is trembling too much. I can hardly make a sound.
そうだったね。けど今はそれよりもっと欲しいものがあるんだ。
欲しいもの。いい。何でもしてやるから。言ってみろよ。
式にね。キスして。
Wasn't there some blood coming out of your mouth or some shit just now? What the hell? Are you really okay with something so simple? I bring my lips against hers. It's neither as sweet nor as soft as it was once upon a time. All it is her cold lips against mine. A kiss without warmth. But she smiles so happily, so honestly, once we're done.
よかった。憧れてたから、こういうの。
そっか。変なものに憧れてたんだな。
うん。なんだか嬉しい。たったそれだけのことなのに。
I'm really glad Ro is just letting us have this moment here, by the way. That he's just kind of a spectator and being so patient.
今ぐらい幸せな時間はなかったよ。
Then don't.
このまま消えてなくなってもいいかなって思えちゃった。
She softly utters those words. And with that, every bit of warmth leaves us. Or leaves her. Or just leaves in general.
アルクエイド。
No reply. Though her body is right there. Though I still feel her softness in my embrace. I can still recall her voice clear as day. But it's gone. I won't ever hear it again. What the hell did I do? I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to show her so many things. I wanted to take her to so many places. I wanted to be together with her. Forever. And now that that wish will never be granted. Damn it. How could she? She passed away abruptly without giving me the chance to say anything thoughtful. I'll never be able to forget this. Her death. This awful quiet feeling that threatens to drive me insane. For as long as I live, I will carry them with me. All right. I guess Roa is done just, waiting. And we'll have to get back to this fight in the next episode because I'm just out of time for this one. I feel terrible doing this. But yeah, I don't know if Arcueid is truly dead, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And the way that she went out is it's a little bittersweet, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm just gonna, hold off on stating too much or really thinking about much. Let's get through this fight first, and then, we'll talk about things, we'll figure things out. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and you guys better show up for the next one. Take it easy, guys.